I'm taking the stance that the continuum of placements is needed because more students need more restrictive classrooms than typical peers. A small example of these restrictive classrooms coming in benefit is of children with a disability or ADHD. Have ADHD a lot of times, when it comes to tests, they'll be in the restrictive classroom, the least restrictive classroom, with all their other peers, learning during like the presentations and the lessons. But when it comes to tests, they're pulled out into a more restrictive classroom so they can focus. It helps them succeed and achieve instead of putting them so they can focus on like a screen in front of them or the paper in front of them, whatever it is, so they can actually recall their memory and learn and show their true authentic skill and knowledge, instead of being in that classroom with all their peers and then they don't perform as well as they don't perform as they don't reflect, the performance doesn't reflect what they actually know because of that. So that's one of the benefits of having those restrictive classrooms, even for those students. And now we have other students with more severe disabilities who cannot be in a classroom with their typical peers for maybe more than an hour or 30 minutes. Those are all needed because the classroom environment can be too overstimulating and they'll never learn, and then it would disrupt every other student in the class, their learning in their time and their understanding. And I think these restrictive classrooms are needed to help these children learn. They're not to exclude them. Their entire purpose is to help you learn in an environment where you can. People's brains and bodies are built differently, and we need those accommodations, and those are definitely needed. I don't believe that we should have less of those. I think if not, we should have more of those to help those children succeed, because they're just as smart and the same interests as any other peers. They just have different requirements and needs to have a successful learning career environment.